Director Park Ji-woo sat in a big room with glass walls that looked out over the city of Seoul. Around the table, 12 people in dark suits listened as he spoke. These were the most important people on Earth, the ones who made decisions for all humans everywhere. "We have a problem," Park said, putting a thick folder on the table. "The aliens do not respect us. They never will." Councilmember Kim opened the folder and looked at the papers inside. Her face got angry as she read. "They said this about us? In their private meetings?" Park nodded. "Dr. Yoon has been listening to their communications for 2 years. Every alien species thinks we are stupid children playing dress-up." The folder was full of translated alien conversations. Things like, "Humans are so cute, thinking they understand galactic politics," and, "When they get bored and go away, we can take their colonies and resources." "But we have helped them," said another council member. "We shared our music, our art, our scientific discoveries. They take our gifts and laugh at us behind our backs," Park replied. "They see us as entertainment, not as equals." Dr. Yoon Hye-jin, a small woman with tired eyes, stood up. She had spent years studying alien behavior and language. "I have recordings," she said. "Hours and hours of them talking about us when they think no humans are listening." She played a recording. Alien voices spoke in their own languages, but the translation machine made it clear what they meant. "The humans are trying so hard to fit in. It is almost sad. Give them a few hundred years. Maybe then they will be ready to sit at the adult table. Their ships are slow, their weapons are basic, and their politics are a mess. How did they even learn to leave their own solar system?" The room was quiet when the recording ended. Some council members looked angry. Others looked sad. "So, what do we do?" asked Kim. "Do we try harder to prove ourselves?" Park shook his head. "No, we stop trying, we come home, and we get ready." "Ready for what?" "For the day when they push too far." That same day, Captain Kim Do-hyun was flying his merchant ship through the Vega system. He carried food and medicine to human colonies on the outer worlds. His ship was big and slow, just like the aliens said. His communication device beeped. It was a message from Earth Space Command. "All human merchant ships return to Earth space immediately. Do not use alien trade routes. Do not dock at alien stations." Kim was confused. "But what about the colonies? They need supplies." The reply came quickly. "New supply routes being established. Human ships only. Follow your orders, Captain." Kim changed course toward home. As he flew, he wondered what was happening. Why would Earth cut off trade with the aliens? In her lab on Mars, Dr. Yoon was packing her research. She had studied alien biology and psychology for 10 years. Now Earth wanted her to come home and work on something secret. She looked at her notes about alien behavior. Most alien species were old, thousands of years older than humans. They moved slowly, thought slowly, and changed slowly. They had ruled the galaxy for so long that they could not imagine anyone challenging them. "That will be their mistake," she said to herself as she sealed the last box. Back on the Senate station, Ambassador Kang So-ra was getting ready for her last meeting. She had to tell the Senate that Earth was pulling out of all galactic agreements. The Senate chamber was full when she stood up to speak. Her legs felt shaky, but her voice was strong. "Members of the Galactic Senate," she said, "I come before you today to announce that Earth is ending its participation in galactic affairs." The room exploded with noise. Aliens hissed, clicked, and roared in surprise. Chancellor Morden hit his stick on the floor. "Order? What do you mean ending participation? Earth is withdrawing from all trade agreements, all defense pacts, and all joint projects," Kang So-ra said. "We will handle our own affairs from now on." Senator Vextar stood up, his yellow eyes bright with anger. "You cannot do this. You have signed contracts. You have responsibilities." "We have fulfilled our contracts," Kang So-ra replied calmly. "All debts are paid. All promises are kept, but we will make no new agreements." "But why?" asked Senator Zefrik, a being made of pure energy who rarely spoke. "Have we done something wrong?" Kang So-ra almost laughed. Even now they did not understand. "You have done nothing wrong by your own standards," she said. You have treated us exactly as you see us, as children who do not belong here." The Senate members looked at each other, confused. "We are not angry," Kang Sora continued. "We simply accept reality. Humans and aliens see the galaxy differently. It is better if we go our separate ways." "But your colonies," Vextar protested. "They need our protection, our trade routes, our technology." "Human colonies will be fine," Kang Sora said. "We will take care of our own people." With that, she walked out of the Senate chamber for the last time. Behind her, the aliens argued and worried about what this meant for their carefully organized galaxy. 3 months later, something strange started happening. Human ships stopped appearing on alien sensors. Human colonies went quiet. The few aliens who tried to visit human worlds found empty space where busy settlements used to be. Where did they go? Aliens asked each other. Some thought humans had given up and gone back to Earth. Others worried that something bad had happened to them, but Captain Lee Tae-ho, still watching from his office on the Senate station, knew the truth. Humans had not disappeared. They had just stopped letting aliens see them. New types of human ships were flying through space, ships that alien sensors could not detect. Human colonies were still there, but they were hidden behind technology that aliens did not understand. Earth had spent 15 years preparing for this moment. While aliens laughed at human primitive technology, human scientists had been working in secret. They had built ships faster than anything in the galaxy. They had created weapons that could stop alien fleets without destroying them. They had developed ways to hide entire worlds from alien eyes. But most importantly, they had learned patience. Lee watched as the Senate voted to take more things that used to belong to humans. The aliens thought they were taking from a weak, defeated enemy. They had no idea they were poking a sleeping giant. On Earth, Director Park stood in a new kind of room, a war room. Screens showed the positions of every alien fleet in the galaxy. Other screens showed human ships moving through space like ghosts. "Phase 2 is complete," reported General Park Seung-ho. "All humans are in position." "And Phase 3? Park asked. "Ready? When you give the order, sir." Park looked at the main screen, which showed the Senate station floating in space. In a few hours, the aliens would vote to take away the last human trade route. "Not yet," Park said. "Let them think they have won. Let them get comfortable." And then, Park smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "Then we remind them why it is dangerous to underestimate humans." General Raxel stood in front of a huge map that showed the galaxy. Red dots marked human colonies. Green dots showed alien military bases. The red dots were surrounded by green ones. "Look how easy this will be," Raxel said to his officers. He was a big creature with 4 arms and thick armor covering his body. "The humans have no defenses, no fleets, no weapons that can hurt us." The other alien officers nodded. They came from different species, but they all agreed on one thing. Humans were weak. "My scouts report that human colonies have only civilian ships," said Colonel Thexan, a bird-like alien with sharp claws. "No military vessels at all." "What about their home world, Earth?" asked another officer. Raxel laughed, a sound like rocks grinding together. "Earth has a few old patrol ships around their solar system. Nothing that our fleet cannot handle in minutes." He pointed to different spots on the map. "We will attack 12 human colonies at the same time. When they surrender, we will offer them protection in exchange for their resources. They will have no choice but to accept." "What if they call for help from other humans?" Thexan asked. "Help from who?" Raxel replied. "They have been hiding from the galaxy for 15 years. They have no allies, no modern weapons, no military strength. They are children playing at being adults." On the other side of the galaxy, diplomat Shin Ye-wan sat in a small cafe on the alien trading station of Hub 7. She looked like any other human tourist, but she was actually Earth's best spy. She sipped her drink and listened to the aliens at the next table. They were speaking quietly, but her hidden recording device picked up every word. "The invasion starts in 3 days, said a Zoranian merchant. "My cousin is in the military. He says it will be over quickly." "Good," replied his friend. "I have already bought mining rights to 2 human worlds. I will be rich when this is finished." Shin. Yeon felt angry, but she kept her face calm. She finished her drink and walked back to her small ship. Once inside, she sent a coded message to Earth. They attack in 3 days. 12 colonies targeted. They expect no resistance. The reply came back in seconds. Message received. Continue. Watching. Do not interfere. Shin Yeon frowned. Why wouldn't Earth want to know more details? Why tell her not to help? On Earth, in a secret facility deep underground, engineer Bae Min-ho was making final checks on humanity's newest warship. It was not like the old human ships that aliens had seen. This one was sleek and black, and it seemed to bend light around itself. Phase drive is working perfectly, he reported to Admiral Cho Hyun-woo. We can travel anywhere in the galaxy in minutes instead of weeks. Admiral Cho nodded. She was a tough woman who had spent her whole life preparing for this moment. What? About the weapons? Quantum disruptors are ready, Bae replied. They will shut down alien ships without destroying them. No one will die unless they choose to fight to the death. And the shield generators? Alien weapons cannot even see our ships, let alone hit them, Bae said with pride. Their sensors are too primitive. Admiral Cho walked to a window that looked out over the secret shipyard. Hundreds of new human ships floated in space, invisible to alien detection systems. Each ship was faster and more advanced than anything the aliens had ever built. 15 years, she said quietly. 15 years of letting them think we were weak and stupid. Will it work? Bae asked. Admiral Cho smiled. They are about to attack colonies full of innocent families. They think those families are defenseless. They have no idea that every human colony has been a trap for the past 10 years. Meanwhile, on the human colony of New Busan, colonist Lee Dong-woo was teaching his daughter how to tend their garden. The colony looked peaceful and quiet, just like the alien spies had reported. What the alien spies could not see were the hidden defense systems built into every building. What they did not know was that every adult colonist had military training. What they could not detect were the powerful weapons hidden underground. Dad, why do we have to practice the emergency drills so often? His daughter asked. Lee Dong-woo looked up at the sky. Soon, alien ships would appear up there. Because sometimes bad people try to hurt good people, he said. And we need to be ready to protect ourselves. That night, Lee Dong-woo received a message on his emergency communicator. Storm coming in 3 days. All families to shelters when it starts. He understood. The storm meant the alien attack. When it came, all the women, children, and elderly people would go to the underground shelters that the aliens did not know existed. The adults would stay above ground to spring the trap. Back on the Senate station, Captain Lee Tae-ho was watching the aliens make their final preparations. The Senate had voted to bring peace and order to former human territories. They were not even trying to hide their plans anymore. Senator Vextar stood before the Senate, his yellow eyes bright with excitement. The operation will begin in 72 hours, he announced. Our combined fleets will liberate the abandoned human colonies from the chaos and lawlessness that has surely taken hold there. The aliens cheered and made happy noises in their different languages. They thought they were about to become very rich and powerful. Lee Tae-ho sent one final report to Earth. They are completely confident. No preparations for resistance. They expect to win without firing a shot. Earth's response was different this time. Good. Come home now. The empty chair has served its purpose. As Lee Tae-ho packed his things, he thought about that empty chair in the Senate chamber. For 15 years it had been a symbol of human weakness and abandonment. Tomorrow it would become a symbol of the biggest mistake the aliens had ever made. On 12 different worlds, human families were getting ready for the attack. Children were moved to safe places. Adults cleaned weapons that aliens thought did not exist. Underground automated defense systems came online. In space, invisible human fleets moved into position around each targeted colony. The aliens' own sensors could not detect them. On Earth, Admiral Cho stood in the command center that would coordinate humanity's response. Screens showed alien fleets moving toward human space, The aliens were flying in neat formations, confident and unworried. "They are not even trying to hide," she said. "No stealth, no advanced scouts, no backup plans. They really think this will be easy." "Orders, Admiral?" asked her second-in-command. Admiral Cho looked at the countdown timer on the main screen. 67 hours until the alien fleets reached human colonies. "Let them come," she said. "Let them land. Let them think they have won. Then we show them what happens when you threaten human families." Scientist Nam Gitai, creator of humanity's new weapons, was making final adjustments to the quantum disruptor arrays. "Admiral, the aliens will surrender quickly once they see what our technology can do. Their ships will be helpless." "I hope so," Admiral Cho replied. "But if they choose to fight, we are ready for that too." The countdown continued. Soon the aliens would learn that Earth's empty chair in the Senate had never meant weakness. It had meant patience. And now, that patience was about to end. General Raxel's flagship dropped out of hyperspace above the human colony. Behind him came 50 alien warships, their weapons powered up and ready. The general looked at his screens and smiled. "Just as our spies reported," he said to his officers. "No defense ships, no orbital weapons, no military bases. This will be easier than taking candy from a child." Colonel Thexon looked at the peaceful colony below. Small farms dotted the landscape. A few civilian ships moved slowly between the settlements. "Should we demand surrender first, General?" "No," Raxel replied. "We land and take control. They will surrender when they see our overwhelming force." The alien fleet began landing procedures. Troop ships headed toward the colony's main city, while fighter ships circled overhead. Everything was going exactly as planned. But down on the surface, Li Dongwu was watching the alien ships through special binoculars. He spoke into his radio. "Nest is full of birds. Repeat, nest is full of birds." All around the colony, hidden doors opened in the ground. What looked like empty fields suddenly revealed gun turrets and missile launchers. The civilian ships in orbit stopped pretending to be slow and helpless. In the colony's command center, Colonel Lee Sang-min watched the aliens land. He was in charge of the colony's real defense force, 300 men and women who had been waiting for this day for 10 years. "Let them get comfortable," he ordered his troops. "Wait until all their ships are on the ground." The first alien troop transport landed in the colony's main square. General Raxel stepped out, expecting to see frightened humans running away. Instead, he saw empty streets. "Where is everyone?" he asked his aide. "Maybe they are hiding in their homes, General." Raxel nodded. That made sense. Humans were cowards after all. But then the streetlights began to flash in a strange pattern. Buildings that looked normal suddenly opened up like flowers, revealing hidden weapons. And from speakers all around the city came a human voice speaking perfect alien languages. "Attention, alien forces," the voice said calmly. "You are surrounded and outgunned. Power down your weapons and return to your ships. You have 60 seconds to comply." General Raxel laughed. "Humans giving us orders? How amusing. Destroy those speakers and find the humans responsible for this joke." His soldiers raised their weapons, but when they pulled the triggers, nothing happened. Their guns were dead. "What is happening?" Raxel demanded. On his flagship above, the ship's computer answered, "All weapon systems offline. Engine power failing. Emergency protocols activated." From empty space around the colony, human ships suddenly appeared. They had been there all along, invisible to alien sensors. The ships were sleek and black, unlike the slow, bulky vessels aliens expected humans to use. Captain An Jae-sung flew his stealth fighter in a perfect circle around the alien flagship. His ship was so advanced that the aliens could not even see it on their screens, but he could disable their systems with precise energy bursts. "This is Captain An of the Earth Defense Force," he broadcast to all alien ships. "Your weapons are offline. Your engines are offline. Your communication systems will work only to receive our messages. You are prisoners." General Raxel could not believe what was happening. Impossible. Human technology is primitive. They barely learned to fly between stars. But his ship's systems were shutting down one by one. His weapons did not work. His engines would not start. Even his personal communicator was dead. On the surface, Colonel Lee Sang-min walked into the main square where the alien soldiers stood, frozen in confusion. Their armor was powered down, their weapons were useless, they looked like children wearing costumes. "General Raxel," Lee Sang-min said politely. "Welcome to New Busan. I am sorry your visit is not going as planned." "How?" Raxel demanded. "How are you doing this?" Lee Sang-min smiled. "You have been watching us for 15 years, General, but you only saw what we wanted you to see. Did you really think humans would stay weak and helpless forever?" In space above the colony, more human ships appeared. Hundreds of them, all invisible, until they chose to be seen. The alien fleet was completely surrounded. Similar scenes were playing out at 11 other human colonies across the galaxy. Alien invasion forces found themselves trapped and helpless, their advanced weapons useless against technology they could not understand. On Earth, Admiral Cho watched the reports come in from all 12 colonies. Every alien attack had been stopped, without a single human death. "Phase 4 is complete," she reported to the Earth Council. "All alien forces have been captured or disabled." "What about their home fleets?" asked Director Park. Admiral Cho smiled. "Scientist Nam's quantum pulse technology worked perfectly. Every alien military ship in the galaxy has been disabled. They cannot fight, they cannot run, and they cannot call for help." Across the galaxy, alien admirals and generals were discovering that their mighty war fleets were now floating helplessly in space. Their weapons would not fire, their engines would not start. Their communication systems could only receive messages from humans. Commander Oh Soo-jin, head of Earth's Psychological Warfare Division, began broadcasting to every alien world simultaneously. Her message was simple and clear. "People of the galaxy," she said, "for 15 years you believed humans were weak and primitive. You thought we had given up and gone home to hide. You were wrong. We did not abandon galactic politics because we were afraid. We left because we were preparing. While you laughed at our primitive technology, our scientists were developing weapons and ships that make your most advanced systems look like children's toys. Today your military forces attacked innocent human families. You expected easy victories against defenseless colonies. Instead, you found that humans are never defenseless. We are only patient." Images appeared on screens throughout alien space showing the disabled invasion fleets and the advanced human ships that had captured them. "Your weapons cannot hurt us," Oh Soo-jin continued. "Your ships cannot run from us. Your sensors cannot even see us unless we want them to. We could have conquered your worlds any time in the past 15 years. We chose not to. But you chose to attack our families. That was a mistake." Back on New Busan, General Raxel sat under guard in the colony's community center. He watched the broadcast with growing fear. "What do you want?" he asked Colonel Lee Sang-min. "Money? Territory? Our technology?" Lee Sang-min shook his head. "We want something much simpler, General. We want respect." "Respect? For 15 years you treated us like stupid children. You laughed at us, ignored us, and stole from us. Today you tried to enslave us. All of that ends now." Lee Sang-min stood up and looked out the window at the disabled alien ships. "Your people will learn that humans are not weak. We are not primitive. And we are definitely not helpless. But we will not become the monsters you expected us to be. Your soldiers will be fed and cared for until this is over. We will not hurt your families the way you plan to hurt ours." General Raxel was quiet for a long moment. Then he asked, "What happens now?" "Now," Lee Sang-min said, "now you get to see what happens when the human representative returns to the Galactic Senate." On the Senate station, aliens were running around in panic. Their military was gone. Their weapons did not work. And worst of all, they were getting reports that human ships were appearing near every alien homeworld. The humans were not attacking. They were just waiting. Senator Vextar stood in the empty Senate chamber, staring at Earth's empty chair. For 15 years, that chair had been a symbol of human weakness. Now it looked like a promise of judgment to come. The huge glass room floated in the darkness of space. Inside, Hundreds of strange beings sat in rows of chairs that went around in circles. Some had scales, some had fur, some glowed with bright light. They all talked in different languages, but everyone understood each other through the translation machines. This was the Galactic Senate, where all the smart species in the galaxy came to make important decisions. Today they were talking about trade routes, the space highways that ships use to carry goods from one world to another. Senator Vexitar stood up from his chair. He was tall and green, with skin like a snake and yellow eyes that never blinked. The trade route through the Kepler sector is still not being used, he said, his voice making a hissing sound. We should give it to the Xeranian merchant fleet. Many aliens nodded their heads. The Xeranians were good at business and had fast ships. But Captain Lee Tae-ho, who sat in the human observation area, frowned. The Kepler sector was right next to 3 human colonies. If the Xeranians controlled that trade route, they could stop human ships from getting supplies. Lee looked at the empty chair in the front row. It had a small sign with a picture of Earth, blue oceans, and green lands. That chair had been empty for many years now. It was supposed to be where Earth's representative would sit. Why should Earth get any say in this? Senator Vexitar continued, pointing at the empty chair. They do not even come to our meetings anymore. They act like they are too good for the rest of us. A buzz of agreement went through the room. Many aliens made sounds that meant yes in their languages. Chancellor Mordoon, an old bug-like creature with 6 arms, tapped his walking stick on the floor. Order! Order! He called out. His voice was scratchy like old paper. We must follow the rules. Earth still has rights to that trade route. What rights? Vexitar asked, his yellow eyes getting brighter. When was the last time a human came to speak with us? When did they last help with any galactic problem? They take from us but give nothing back. Lee felt angry, but he stayed quiet. He was only an observer. He could not speak in the Senate meetings. In the back of the room, Ambassador Kang So-ra watched from behind dark glass. She used to sit in that empty chair. She used to speak for all humans in the galaxy. But that was before Earth decided to stop talking to the aliens. She remembered the day 15 years ago, when she got the message from Earth. Come home, it said. We are done with this game. At first, she did not understand. Earth had worked so hard to join the Galactic Senate. Humans had learned alien languages, built new types of ships, and followed all the galactic laws. Why would they give up now? But then she started to notice things. The way aliens talked when they thought no, humans were listening. How they laughed about human customs. How they made deals behind Earth's back. Humans are like children, she once heard a Sauridian diplomat say. They think they are so smart, but they barely learned to fly between stars 50 years ago. We have been doing this for thousands of years. Let them play at being important, another alien had replied. When they get tired of the game, the real adults will take care of business. Kang So-ra had felt her heart break that day. She realized that no matter what humans did, the aliens would never see them as equals. Now, as she watched the Senate debate, she saw the same thing happening again. I say we vote, Vexitar announced. All in favor of giving the Kepler trade route to the Xeranians? Hands and claws and tentacles went up all around the room. The count was 847-0. Every species voted yes, except for the humans, who were not allowed to vote since they had no representative. Chancellor Mordoon sighed. The motion passes. The Kepler route now belongs to the Xeranian merchant fleet. Lee felt sick to his stomach. Those 3 human colonies would now have to pay much more for food and medicine. Some people might die because of this vote. As the EU Senate moved on to the next topic, Lee quietly left his seat. He walked through the long hallways of the Senate building until he reached his small office. The walls were covered with pictures from Earth, mountains, forests, oceans, and cities full of people. He sat down at his desk and opened his communication device. The message he typed was short. They took Kepler, testing us now. What are my orders? He sent the message using a special code that only Earth's government knew. Then he waited. 3 hours later, his device beeped. The reply was even shorter. Watch and report. Do not act. Not yet. Lee stared at the message for a long time. He wondered what Earth was planning. Why did they tell him not to act? Why were they letting the aliens walk all over human rights? Meanwhile, in another part of the Senate building, Ambassador Kang Sora was packing her things. She had officially quit her job today, but she wanted to take one last look at the place where she had tried so hard to make humans belong. She picked up a small model of Earth from her desk. It was a gift from her daughter back home. "Why don't you just come back, Mom?" her daughter had asked during their last video call. "Why do you stay there with all those aliens who don't like us?" Kang Sora had not known how to answer then, but now she did. She stayed because someone had to watch. Someone had to see what the aliens really thought about humans. Someone had to report back to Earth about what was coming. As she walked through the Senate building for the last time, she passed the great chamber where the aliens were still meeting. Through the doorway, she could see that empty chair with Earth symbol on it. "You think that chair is empty because we gave up," she whispered to herself. "You have no idea how wrong you are." That night, both Lee and Kang Sora sent their final reports to Earth. They wrote about the trade route vote, about the aliens' attitude, and about the plans they had overheard for taking more things away from human colonies. Earth's reply came 12 hours later. It was the same message for both of them. "Come home. Phase 2 begins now." As their ships left the Senate station, neither Lee nor Kang Sora looked back. They had work to do on Earth. Big work. Behind them, the empty chair sat in the dark Senate chamber, waiting. The aliens thought it was empty because humans had given up. They were about to learn how wrong they were. 1 week after the failed invasion, Galactic Senate Station. The Great Senate Chamber had never been so quiet. Representatives from 847 alien species sat in their chairs, but no one was talking. They all stared at the empty chair in the front row. Earth's chair. Outside the station, human ships floated in space like silent guardians. The aliens could see them now, sleek and black against the stars. Every alien who looked at those ships felt afraid. Chancellor Morden tapped his walking eye stick nervously. "We must decide what to do," he said to the other senators. "The humans are waiting for our answer." "What answer?" Senator Vextar hissed. "They destroyed our fleets. They took our weapons. What choice do we have?" "They could have killed everyone," said Senator Zefric, the energy being. "But they did not. That must mean something." Senator Vextar's yellow eyes were full of anger and fear. "It means they want to humiliate us. They want to rule over us like we are children." But before anyone could reply, the chamber doors opened. Every alien head turned to look. President Moon Ki-yoon walked into the chamber. He was a calm-looking man with gray hair and kind eyes. Behind him came Ambassador Jang Hee-soo, a woman in a simple blue dress. Last came General Park Seung-ho, wearing a military uniform but no weapons. The aliens watched in silence as the three humans walked down the steps toward Earth's empty chair. No one tried to stop them. No one spoke. President Moon stopped in front of the chair and looked around the chamber. His eyes met those of aliens who had voted to steal from human colonies. Aliens who had planned to enslave human families. Aliens who had thought humans were too weak to fight back. "Members of the Galactic Senate," President Moon said, his voice carrying clearly through the chamber. "I am President Moon Ki-yoon of Earth. This is Ambassador Jang Hee-soo, our new representative, and this is General Park Seung-ho, our military advisor." He gestured to the empty chair. "For 15 years, this chair has been empty. You thought it was empty because humans had given up. You were wrong." Ambassador Jang stepped forward and sat down in Earth's chair for the first time in 15 years. The simple action sent whispers through the alien representatives. "The chair was empty because we were preparing," President Moon continued. "We knew this day would come. The day when you would decide that humans did not deserve to exist freely in this galaxy." Chancellor Morden found his voice. "President Moon, we can explain." "No need to explain," Moon replied calmly. "We have recordings of your private meetings. We know exactly what you think of humans. We know about your plans to civilize us. We know about the invasion you just attempted. General Park stepped forward and activated a small device. Holographic screens appeared around the chamber, showing images of the disabled alien fleets. Your military forces are intact but powerless, General Park said. Your ships float in space, but they cannot move or fight. Your weapons exist, but they will not fire. This situation will continue until we reach an agreement. What kind of agreement? Asked Senator Zefrick. President Moon looked directly at the energy being. Simple. You leave humans alone. All humans everywhere. Our colonies, our trade routes, our ships, our people. You do not interfere with us and we do not interfere with you. And if we refuse, Senator Vextar demanded. General Park smiled, but it was not a warm smile. Then you will discover that disabling your weapons was the kindest thing we could do. We have other options. The screens around the chamber changed. Now they showed detailed maps of every alien home world, every military base, every important building, every leader's house. We know where everything is, General Park said quietly. We can go anywhere, anytime, and you cannot stop us. We can see through any camouflage, break any code, defeat any defense. Your most secret places are open books to us. The aliens looked at the maps with growing horror. Their most classified military secrets were displayed for everyone to see. But, President Moon said, raising his hand, we do not want to rule over you. We do not want to take your worlds or enslave your people. We just want to be left alone to live our lives in peace. Ambassador Jiang spoke for the first time since sitting in Earth's chair. The galaxy is big enough for all of us. Humans will trade with those who treat us fairly. We will share our art and music with those who respect us. We will even help with galactic problems when asked politely. But, she continued, her voice getting stronger, we will never again pretend to be weak so that you can feel strong. We will never again smile politely while you steal from us. And we will never again let you threaten our families. Senator Vextar stood up, his whole body shaking with rage. You cannot do this. We have ruled this galaxy for thousands of years. You are nothing but children who learned to fly between stars yesterday. President Moon looked at the angry alien with pity. Senator Vextar, you still do not understand. Age does not equal wisdom. Time and space does not equal strength. You have ruled the galaxy for thousands of years, but you have learned nothing. He gestured to the screens showing alien technology. Your ships are fast, but they cannot hide. Your weapons are powerful, but they are predictable. Your defenses are strong, but they have obvious weaknesses. We studied you for 50 years while you ignored us. We learned from your mistakes while you repeated them. We built better technology while you rested on your old achievements. General Park added, you thought experience was the same as superiority. But sometimes fresh eyes see solutions that old eyes miss. Chancellor Mordoon spoke up, his voice shaky. What exactly are you proposing? Ambassador Jiang answered. New rules. Humans get the same rights as any other species. Our territory is our own. Our trade is our business. Our internal affairs stay internal. In return, President Moon said, we will not use our technology to conquer or control. We will not seek revenge for past insults. We will treat other species as equals as long as they treat us the same way. And if some species cannot accept these terms? Asked Senator Zefrick. General Park's expression became serious. Then they will find out what humans are capable of when we stop being patient. The chamber was quiet for a long moment. Then, one by one, alien representatives began to nod their heads. They had seen what human technology could do. They had learned that human patience had limits. More importantly, they had realized that humans could have destroyed them all but chose not to. I call for a vote, Chancellor Mordoon announced. All in favor of accepting Earth's terms for coexistence? Every hand, claw, and tentacle in the chamber went up. The vote was 847 to 0. Ambassador Jiang smiled as she looked around the chamber. Thank you. Earth accepts the Senate's decision. She stood up from Earth's chair and looked at it one more time. This chair was never really empty, she said. It was waiting. waiting for the day when we could sit here as equals instead of begging for scraps of respect. As the humans prepared to leave, Senator Vextar called out, "What happens now? How do we know you will not change your minds and conquer us anyway?" President Moon stopped and turned back. "Because, Senator, we are not you. We do not need to rule others to feel important. We do not need to control others to feel safe. We are humans. We explore, we build, we create. We protect our families. That is enough for us." As the three humans walked out of the chamber, the aliens sat in stunned silence. Earth's chair was no longer empty, but it would never be the same. The galaxy had learned that humans were not weak children playing at being adults. They were adults who had chosen to be patient with children. But patience, as the aliens had just discovered, was not the same thing as weakness. And now, for the first time in galactic history, humans sat at the table as true equals. The empty chair had finally found its purpose.